Have you ever felt like no matter how much you try to change, life keeps pulling you back into the same old patterns? What if I told you the old you isn't real anymore? And the moment you stop identifying with it, your entire reality begins to shift. Stay tuned, because everything starts changing faster than you think. 1. The illusion of the old self. Most people don't realize that the old you isn't something real. It's simply a story your mind keeps replaying. It's a collection of memories, beliefs, and emotional patterns that once helped you survive certain moments in life. But here's the truth. Your old self doesn't exist anymore, except in your thoughts. Every time you recall past mistakes or hold on to who you used to be, you're breathing life into a version of yourself that's long gone. Think of your old self like an outdated phone app that no longer supports the newest updates. It slows you down, glitches often, and doesn't fit your current needs. You wouldn't keep using an outdated app that keeps crashing, right? The same goes for the old you. Holding on to past fears, labels, or limitations prevents your system, your mind and energy, from running smoothly and creating the reality you truly want. Your identity is flexible. You're not bound to the person you were yesterday or even an hour ago. You can choose new thoughts, new habits, and a new self-image right now. The challenge is that your brain loves familiarity, even if that familiarity brings pain. It constantly tries to pull you back into old emotional loops because that's what feels safe. Recognizing this is the first step in breaking free. When you stop identifying with your old story, you open space for something powerful: creation. You start to see that you're not your past experiences. You're the awareness observing them. This shift in perception changes everything. Suddenly, the old you loses its grip. You no longer react out of fear, guilt, or doubt. Instead, you respond with clarity, calm, and confidence. To make this practical, start by noticing when your thoughts say, "I always mess things up," or "I'm not good enough." Pause. Remind yourself, that was the old me, and I don't live there anymore. Then act from the version of yourself who already moved beyond that belief. Bit by bit, this rewires your identity, and your energy begins to align with the person you're becoming, not who you were. The illusion of the old self fades when you realize you were never stuck. You were just repeating a story that was ready to end. 2. How identity shapes reality. Your identity is like the invisible script that directs every scene of your life. It silently tells you who you are, what you can have, and what's possible for you. The way you see yourself determines how you think, act, and feel, and those patterns continuously shape your reality. In other words, you don't attract what you want. You attract what you believe yourself to be. For example, if you see yourself as someone who always struggles financially, your mind will unconsciously seek situations that confirm that story. Missing opportunities, feeling undeserving, or hesitating to take action. On the other hand, if you start identifying as someone who is capable, worthy, and abundant, your energy and decisions begin to reflect that belief. You'll naturally take actions that align with success, and your outer world will mirror that change. Your identity acts like a frequency you're constantly broadcasting. The universe, or life itself, simply matches it. This is why trying to change your life without changing your self-image rarely works. You can set new goals or try new habits, but if deep down you still think, "I'm not the kind of person who can do that," your reality will keep looping back to the old version of you. To shift this, you must begin to consciously choose who you are rather than who you were. Start small. How does your new identity think, talk, and make choices? Embody that version today, even in tiny ways. Speak with more confidence. Make decisions from trust instead of fear. And act like the person who already lives the life you want. It's not about pretending or forcing positivity. It's about aligning with truth. You're not creating a new you from scratch. You're remembering the real you that was buried under old labels and self-doubt. Once your inner identity expands, your external world can't help but transform to match it. So the key is simple but powerful. Shift your self-perception and your world will follow. Because reality isn't built from your circumstances. It's built from who you believe yourself to be. 3. Recognizing energetic resistance. When you start changing your mindset and stepping into a new version of yourself, resistance almost always shows up, not as punishment, but as proof that transformation is happening. Energetic resistance is that inner tension, doubt, or discomfort you feel when your old identity tries to hold on while your new self begins to emerge. It's the voice that says, "This feels wrong," or "Maybe I should just go back to how things were." Think of it like stretching a rubber band. The more you expand, the more resistance you feel. But that resistance doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It means you're moving beyond your comfort zone. The old you feels unsafe when it loses control, so it pushes back through overthinking, fear, or even sudden exhaustion. Recognizing this for what it is, energy shifting, helps you stay calm instead of giving up. For example, imagine you decide to start speaking more confidently. The first few times, your body might feel nervous, your voice might shake, or your mind might scream, "This isn't you." That's resistance, the leftover energy of your old self being released. If you keep going, that discomfort fades and a new, more confident energy takes its place. Energetic resistance also shows up through external triggers, arguments, delays, or unexpected setbacks. It's as if the universe is asking, "Are you sure you've let go of the old you?" Instead of reacting, use these moments as reminders to realign. Take a deep breath, stay centered, and respond from your new identity, not the old patterns. The trick is not to fight resistance, but to observe it with awareness. When you witness those old thoughts and emotions without attaching to them, you take away their power. Over time, your energy stabilizes, and what once felt heavy becomes lighter and natural. So when resistance arises, smile and say to yourself, "This is just energy shifting." That simple mindset shift turns discomfort into a signal of growth. The stronger the resistance, the closer you are to a breakthrough, because energy always fights hardest right before it transforms. 4. Letting go of past patterns. Letting go of past patterns is one of the most freeing, yet challenging steps in transforming your reality. These patterns are the automatic loops of thought, emotion, and behavior that keep recreating the same experiences in your life. You might say you want change, but if you're still reacting the same way, thinking the same thoughts, or expecting the same outcomes, you're unconsciously reliving the past. Every pattern has an emotional charge behind it, maybe guilt, fear, shame, or unworthiness. These emotions anchor you to old timelines and identities. For instance, if you grew up believing you had to please others to be loved, you might still overextend yourself today, even when it drains your energy. That's a pattern, not your truth. Recognizing it is the first step to breaking it. To release these cycles, awareness is your most powerful tool. You can't let go of what you don't see. Start noticing when a situation triggers the same emotional response or inner dialogue you felt many times before. Pause and ask, what belief am I acting from right now? Does this reflect the version of me I'm becoming or the one I've outgrown? This simple question creates space, and in that space, transformation happens. Another key step is forgiveness. Forgiving yourself and others doesn't mean approving of what happened. It means you refuse to let it control your energy any longer. The moment you choose to stop carrying resentment or regret, your vibration rises and your mind becomes lighter. Letting go also means detaching from identities that once defined you. Maybe you've told yourself, "I'm the shy one," or "I'm unlucky in love." These are not facts, they're old roles your subconscious memorized. When you consciously decide, "That's no longer who I am," you create energetic room for something new to enter. Change doesn't require you to fight the past. It asks you to stop rehearsing it. Instead of replaying old memories, redirect your focus to who you're becoming. Each time you choose differently, speak differently, think differently, act differently, you rewrite the code of your life. Letting go isn't losing yourself. It's discovering who you were meant to be before the world taught you who to be. 5. Conscious decision to shift timelines. Every major transformation begins with a single, powerful moment, the conscious decision to change. This isn't just wishful thinking or setting vague goals. It's an energetic commitment to step into a completely new version of yourself, and by doing so, shift into a new timeline of reality. You see, your life doesn't change just because time passes. It changes the moment you decide that the old story no longer defines you. A timeline shift happens when your vibration, thoughts, and actions begin to align with a higher version of yourself, one that already exists in potential form. The universe immediately starts reorganizing your circumstances to match that new energetic choice. Imagine your life as a series of parallel roads. Each one represents a different reality, one where you stay stuck in the past, and others where you thrive, heal, and succeed. You have the steering wheel. The moment you say, "I'm done being that version of me," you merge onto a new path. You might not see the destination right away, but the energy shift is instant. This decision doesn't mean everything changes overnight, but from that moment, subtle signs appear. You meet new people, feel intuitive nudges, or notice old situations no longer resonate. That's reality rearranging itself to fit your new state of being. To consciously shift, you must make the decision with clarity and emotion. Don't just think it, feel it. Say to yourself, "From now on, I live as the version of me who is confident, peaceful, and aligned." Then back that energy with consistent choices. Each thought, word, and action should support your new identity, not the old one. You might face moments of doubt or discomfort, but that's normal. It's the old frequency fading. Keep reaffirming your decision until it becomes your new natural state. Remember, timelines don't shift because the universe gives you something. They shift because you vibrationally move toward it. The power to transform isn't somewhere out there. It's in your awareness, in your choice, and in your willingness to believe that change can happen the moment you decide it will. 6. Reprogramming daily thoughts. Your daily thoughts are like quiet architects. They build the structure of your life, brick by brick. Every belief you hold, every internal dialogue you repeat, shapes the way you see yourself and how your world responds to you. Reprogramming your thoughts isn't about forcing positivity or ignoring problems. It's about consciously choosing what kind of mental environment you live in every day. Most people don't realize that around 90% of their thoughts are repetitive. If those thoughts are rooted in fear, doubt, or lack, they reinforce the same version of reality. For example, if your mind keeps saying, "Nothing ever works out for me," that thought doesn't just describe your life, it creates it. But the moment you choose a new thought like, "Things are starting to flow in my favor," your energy shifts and opportunities begin to align with that new vibration. Reprogramming starts with awareness. Catch yourself in mid-thought and ask, "Is this thought serving the person I'm becoming or the one I'm leaving behind?" This small pause gives you power. You interrupt the old mental pattern and create a gap where new beliefs can take root. Next, replace those old loops with intentional affirmations that feel true and empowering. For instance, instead of, "I'm always stressed," try, "I'm learning to handle challenges with calm and clarity." It might feel unfamiliar at first, but repetition rewires the brain. Literally. Neuroscience shows that consistent new thoughts form new neural pathways, eventually becoming your mind's default setting. Visualization is another powerful reprogramming tool. Spend a few minutes daily imagining yourself living your desired reality. Feel it, see it, believe it. When the brain experiences something vividly, it can't distinguish between imagination and reality. It starts to accept the new story as truth. Most importantly, pair new thoughts with new actions. Thinking "I'm confident" is powerful, but acting confidently, even in small ways, signals your brain to reinforce that identity. Over time, your thoughts no longer control you, they serve you. Reprogramming isn't a one-time fix. It's a daily discipline. But once your inner dialogue aligns with your higher self, your external world begins to match it effortlessly. Your reality becomes a reflection of your upgraded mindset, clear, empowered, and free from the limits of the old you. 7. Aligning emotions with the new you. Your emotions are powerful messengers. They tell you what frequency you're vibrating at and whether you're aligned with the version of yourself you want to become. Most people focus only on changing their thoughts, but thoughts alone aren't enough. True transformation happens when your emotions match your intentions. You can think "I'm confident" all day long, but if you feel fear, doubt, or unworthiness underneath, your energy will still attract experiences that reflect those emotions. Alignment begins with emotional awareness. Instead of running from uncomfortable feelings, observe them with compassion. When sadness, anger, or insecurity surface, don't label them as bad. They're just signals showing you where your energy is still connected to the old you. For example, if you feel jealous or anxious, that's your old emotional identity trying to hold on. The key is not to suppress it, it's to acknowledge it, release it, and realign. One of the most effective ways to shift your emotions is through embodiment. Ask yourself, how would the new me feel right now? Maybe they'd feel calm, grateful, or powerful. Once you identify that emotion, intentionally bring it into your body through your breathing, posture, and tone of voice. Even a small physical shift can instantly change your emotional state. Gratitude is another potent emotional realignment tool. When you focus on what's already good in your life, your vibration rises and your energy becomes magnetic to more positive experiences. The new you thrives in that frequency, where appreciation, joy, and peace become your emotional baseline. Remember, emotions are energy in motion. When you hold on to negative emotions, your energy stagnates and you stay stuck in the same reality. But when you consciously choose emotions that reflect your desired self, confidence, love, freedom, you start radiating the energy of that version of you. And since the universe always mirrors what you emit, your external circumstances begin to shift almost effortlessly. So, aligning emotions with your new identity is not about pretending to be happy all the time. It's about emotional honesty and energetic choice. You feel what arises, release what's outdated, and choose what empowers. When your heart and mind work together, you become unstoppable. Your emotions stop reacting to your reality. They start creating it. 8. Signs your reality is shifting. When you start transforming from the inside, the outer world begins to respond, sometimes subtly, sometimes dramatically. These moments are called reality shift signs, and recognizing them helps you trust the process instead of doubting it. At first, things may feel confusing, but these signs are powerful indicators that your energy, mindset, and vibration are truly changing. One of the first signs is a sense of disconnection from your old life. The people, habits, and environments that once felt familiar may suddenly seem distant or draining. This isn't a loss, it's alignment. The old you resonated with a certain frequency, but as your vibration rises, you naturally drift away from what no longer matches your energy. Another common sign is synchronicity. You might start seeing repeating numbers like 111, 222, or 555. Signals that your consciousness is awakening and the universe is responding. You may also find that the right opportunities, messages, or people appear at just the perfect time. These are not coincidences. They're reflections of your new alignment. You might also experience emotional turbulence. Old fears, insecurities, or memories can resurface. Not because you're regressing, but because your system is clearing outdated energy. Think of it like emotional detox. Stay grounded, breathe, and remind yourself, this is part of the shift. Once that energy is released, you'll feel lighter and more balanced. Physical sensations can also indicate change. Fatigue, tingling, or bursts of energy. Your body is adjusting to the higher vibration of your new self. Be gentle with yourself during this time. Rest, hydrate, and allow the transformation to integrate naturally. Another powerful sign is manifestation acceleration. Things start happening faster, both positive and negative, depending on where your focus lies. This means your energetic influence is strengthening, so it's essential to stay conscious of your thoughts and emotions. Lastly, you'll notice an inner peace, even when things around you seem uncertain. That calm assurance is the ultimate sign. It shows you're no longer reacting from the old self, but creating from awareness. So if life feels different, don't panic. Celebrate it. Shifts often look chaotic before they stabilize. The universe isn't testing you. It's rearranging everything to fit the new vibration you've chosen. 9. Staying grounded. During transformation. When your reality starts shifting and energy begins to move rapidly, it can feel exciting, but also overwhelming. You might experience emotional highs and lows, bursts of motivation followed by deep fatigue, or even confusion about who you're becoming. That's why staying grounded during transformation is essential. It keeps your energy stable and your mind clear while everything around you evolves. Grounding means staying connected to the present moment instead of getting swept away by thoughts, expectations, or spiritual intensity. When you're grounded, you can flow with change without losing balance. Think of it like a tree. The higher it grows, the deeper its roots must be. Your growth depends on how well you stay centered amidst transformation. One of the simplest grounding techniques is mindful breathing. Throughout your day, pause and take slow, deep breaths. Feel your body expand and relax. This immediately brings you back to now, the only moment where true change happens. You can also try grounding visualization. Imagine roots growing from your feet deep into the earth, anchoring you in calm, stable energy. Nature is another powerful ally. Spending time outdoors, walking barefoot on grass, or simply observing the sky helps balance your energy. The earth has a natural healing frequency that harmonizes your system, especially when your vibration is shifting quickly. Also, maintain physical and emotional routines that support you. Eating nourishing food, getting enough rest, journaling, or meditating. These habits signal safety to your nervous system, reminding it that transformation doesn't have to be chaotic. Emotionally staying grounded means observing your thoughts without reacting to them. When doubt or fear arises, remind yourself that change often feels uncertain because your brain is adapting to a new reality. It's okay not to have everything figured out. Trust the process, even when results aren't visible yet. Finally, grounding is about integration. Every spiritual or personal shift needs time to settle. Give yourself space to process, reflect, and rest. Growth doesn't mean rushing. It means aligning your energy with stability and peace. So while your consciousness expands and your outer world evolves, let your inner world stay still, calm, and rooted. Because when your feet are grounded, no amount of change can shake your foundation. It can only lift you higher. 10. Living fully as the new you. Stepping into the new you isn't just about thinking differently. It's about living differently every single day. Once you've released old identities, shifted your mindset, and aligned your emotions, the next step is full embodiment. This means showing up as the person you've become, not occasionally, not when it's easy, but consistently, even when life tests you. Living as the new you is a lifestyle, not a one-time decision. It's choosing to act from your higher self in every situation, from how you speak to yourself, to how you respond to others, to how you handle challenges. The old you may have reacted with fear, anger, or doubt. The new you responds with awareness, calm, and confidence. Each choice becomes a declaration of who you are now. You'll know you're living fully as your new self when peace becomes your default instead of anxiety, when you stop chasing outcomes and start trusting your flow. You no longer feel the need to prove or explain yourself because you know your worth. Life starts to feel more synchronized, effortless even, not because challenges disappear, but because you've changed the energy you bring to them. To maintain this new state, create daily rituals that remind you of who you are now. Speak affirmations that reflect your identity. Visualize your ideal reality as already done, and make decisions that support your higher path. Surround yourself with people and environments that mirror this new energy, because your vibration thrives where it's nurtured. The key is consistency. You might occasionally slip into old patterns, and that's okay. Awareness will bring you back. Each time you realign, you strengthen the new frequency until it becomes second nature. Ultimately, living as the new you is about authenticity. It's about honoring your growth, expressing your truth without fear, and moving through the world with open energy and trust. You're not pretending to be someone else. You're remembering who you've always been beneath the layers of doubt and conditioning. So live boldly, speak kindly, and walk with purpose. The new you isn't waiting somewhere in the future. You're living it now in every conscious breath and intentional action. You are not who you were. You are who you choose to be now. Say this with me. My new reality begins today. Comment it below, subscribe, and keep evolving with Pure Quantum.